Planning for the effective use of ICTs requires an understanding of the affordances or the capabilities of technologies to enhance learning and teaching.
There's a range of tools there that I've only even just scratched the surface of, but I'm finding that students are finding if one can restrict it to that particular learning management system and they get used to how they're operating in it, it gives them confidence. Keeping in mind, I've got first year students.
In terms of the use of multimedia, whether you consider a short video being shown to the students that conveys what the ill-structured problem is, or part of a disclosure within a larger ill-structured problem, whether it's some images on a screen, whether it's some video footage on a screen, things of that nature, the use of multimedia in learning are part of our attempts to engage I guess a broader range of learning styles within students, but we're really taking a multiple intelligences approach, if you like, to make sure that we're fostering the students' development of as many of their intelligences as possible.
In terms of the range of ICTs that we've used across a number of our subjects for the FLY project, there are quite a few. I've already mentioned a few, such as Twitter and Second Life. Facebook has been used by at least 3 subjects as the key asynchronous learning space. So those subjects aren't using the forum, for example. The Facebook group is replacing the forum. Other technologies that we use were social bookmarking tools, for example Delicious. A number of subjects use Delicious. Basically that's a place where you can just share a whole lot of URLs to resources. You can provide annotations to those, so students are encouraged to recommend resources for other students to use, and to provide a short annotation. Now that worked really well because we were able to plug in the Delicious feed into the Interact site. So when students came into Interact, I actually replaced the original welcome message to the students with this Delicious feed. So when students had actually added resources to Delicious, and then the next time they logged into Interact, they could see their name there and the resources that they recommended. So once again, that's providing immediate feedback for them. I've shared this with the group, and now everyone's seeing it when they're coming into the Interact portal.
When I first started coming down here regularly, I was really keen to ensure that there was wireless networking down here and available here. But I soon went cold on that idea. I quite think it's a sanctioned sort of space and a sacred little space, or secure space. I don't know if sacred's the right word. Just as much as I don't think you should necessarily be sitting with a pot plant or a gum leaf when you're on the computer. There is some lap over, but I don't think there should be a crossover for the sake of a crossover. It's handy to have access to things down here, but this is purpose built. This is for developing relationships and discussing things. So I don't know, I haven't been that excited really about involving technologies and having a crossover, apart from using recording devices and visual and audio recording devices. I'm very interested in virtual spaces too, but I don't necessarily see them crossing over.
I think what's really important and what will be the future here will be more careful thought about the pedagogical use of these. And what I'm hoping to see with the staff in the course is a more thoughtful consideration of just exactly where certain kinds of ICTs fit in. I'm really not interested in having ICT for the sake of ICT. ICTs need to be used within courses with authentic purposes so that students can see the use of them and they're actually going to learn to use them because there's an authentic basis for their use.
When examining your course from the perspective of ICTs, you may want to consider the following questions. What technologies are your students currently exposed to throughout their course? You might like to consider ICTs in terms of those used for information access, interaction, collaboration, communication, and networking. Is there consistency in how different technologies are being used to support the learning process? How does your course accommodate for rapid technological change?